Hi everyone, I'm just going to show you how I create ghosts like this using Photoshop with simple Photoshop brushes. You can purchase the Photoshop brushes that I'm using in my Etsy store, see the link below. Okay, so I've just created a group for my ghost and I'm just positioning my ghost on its own layer into the area of the image that I want it. And I'm just using this light blue color. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate these layers. I'm going to do 3 layers. So Command J to duplicate, and that second layer I'm going to change the blending mode to overlay, and then I'm going to press Command J again and I'm going to change the third blending mode to linear dodge. Then those 2 layers I'm going to add a layer mask. So we'll just turn those off so you can see the difference they make. Now it is time to work on our layer mask of those 2 added layers, and we're going to be using just a soft round brush. So just bring out your soft round brush and we're going to start with the mode normal, the opacity and the flow at 100%. We are going to work on the top layer, so the last layer that we did, which is going to be our linear dodge layer. Working on that layer mask, but I want you to invert the layer mask. So click on the layer mask and press Command I to invert. Now using your soft white round brush, so you can press X to change it to white, we're just going to go around the edges of the brush. So just around his face and around his little hands and just around the edges of him, just to create a little bit more depth and make him look like he's a little bit more 3D. Okay, so he's already looking better. And always more is better. You can go back in and take away. So as you just saw then, I just did a little bit too much with the white, so I just took it away with the black brush. Okay, so I'm just coming in at the bottom here just to look like he's got kind of creases going through the tail end. And there we go. So now we have to go work on our second layer. So this is our overlay layer, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work on the layer mask. So click on your layer mask, and then you need to use your soft round brush again. Now let's invert that layer mask by Command I, and then we're going to press X on our keyboard to turn our brush to white. And working on that layer mask, we're going to do the same as we did with the above layer. So just lightly brushing the areas that we want to bring that overlay glow back on. So I usually will just focus on the areas that are already quite light. So again, around his face, around the end of him, and around his hands. Now add another layer, just a plain layer, and just using the magic brushes, we're just going to have the opacity at 100%, flow at 100% on the white brush, and I'm just going to put these magic swirls at the bottom of our ghost, and then I'm going to add a layer mask on and going to go in with a soft round black brush, and I'm just going to take off the areas that I don't want that brush to show, and I pulled it down a bit fast, so let's take it off down the bottom here. And then I'm going to go in with a second magic brush just to add a little bit more depth to this little ghost. And let's go add another layer and add some more magic brushes on. Now these magic brushes are in the purchase with your ghost brushes, so you get them all together to create these little ghosts. And just going to position this where it looks like it's coming out of the book. Now you can decide to do this with blue, but I'm just doing it with white. You can place these magic brushes wherever you like, and once you've completed doing that, add on a filter, bring up that exposure on the ghosts, and this is what your image should end up looking like, or your little ghosts. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe.